welcome back to another episode of the City Podcast. This will be episode 221. I think we're in 200, right? There we are. 200 episodes and no one still don't listen. It's the shittiest podcast around, yeah. We should start doing like dumb shit, right? Just like
I mean,
to get people's attention.
I don't know.
Believe me, I tried.
Oh,
I went back. I don't know if you saw. No, you probably didn't know, but I made a TikTok clip from one of the recordings,
uh huh.
and I was like, I need just a little bit of soundbite. I think it's like 30 seconds or less. And I went and I listened to the podcast twice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck, I need a soundbite that doesn't go against like regulations and shit, so it could be turned around.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of God, I couldn't find one, dude. I was like, come on, we have to either be doing something stupid or saying something that matters, right? It's like just any soundbite, come on. And I scanned it, and I scanned it, and I scanned it, and I was like, damn it, either me or you are interrupting our statements, which sounds messy, or we're saying a lot of nothing.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck, I was so disappointed. I was like, oof. I was like, well, it happens.
I don't know.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh man, maybe I should start with a skit or something funny or something shocking or something, that attention grabber.
But like,
so
I disagree with shocking. Like, why does it always have to go to shocking? Like, it's just fucking.
Shocking always gets the views.
I fucking hate. Like, that's okay. I should say it doesn't get my views. Like, I don't look at something because it's fucking shocking. I'm just like, no, I want to fucking pay attention.
You're from the Jackass era, so shocking is
all
know.
Which also, like, I know I'm not old. I'm 33, but I'm just fucking tired. I'm fucking so goddamn tired of like.
I'm with you on the tired, right? I'm with you on the tired, but I'm in the same boat, but with a different outcome. Right?
Uh-huh.
I'm 36. I'm gonna be 36 this year, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I went back. People in our age group, either on one side of the line or the other, right? And I was like, man, someone asked me something about girls.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, hey man, when's the last time you like someone or went after someone?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember about that girl that worked at Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh man, she is so pretty, and I was talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And I was like, man, the age difference is fucking crazy. And I realized, oh, you're old, dude. You're old. Like where my conversations start with, do you remember when? Or back in my day. And that's when I realized that I was trying to get like. There's no reason for me to be talking to anybody under 30. Right? No reason. No girl, no person at least under 30. Maybe under 25. Give me that.
I'm like, fucking our homeboy Aaron and fucking David are under, like, they're 25 or lower.
But the thing is that with David,
mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing much in common, like to hold a conversation.
Okay.
He is a millennial where he doesn't care about much, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So other than the conversation we have about anime,
mm-hmm.
there's nothing there, to click. Like to hold like a whole conversation or like a whole drive or something,
Okay.
Because me and you, I can hold a conversation because other than our hobbies and stuff,
mm-hmm.
we live through a certain amount of we live through the same things, same era.
Yeah.
So if I say, hey, you remember when,
mm-hmm.
or back in my day,
mm-hmm.
or hey man, remember that band? It clicks with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh man, that was trash, or I liked it. These guys under 25, they don't know what I'm talking about. I know that stuff like Korn, System, and Slipknot are classics. They're back in the day bands. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest.
Like it.
That's sad, but not for the reason you're thinking.
Oh, I mean, I like trash music. Everybody already knows. Like, come on, I'm a Cardi B and Doja Cat fan.
I mean, I like one song from Doja. I haven't heard any others, so I can't say.
She's pretty and she has really good beats. It's mind numbing. Like her music is just good to listen to. But it's not technical. At least I don't think it's technical. But I don't know music anymore because I'm old. But yeah, dude, I was like, yeah. And you know, we were talking about the other day where like we're not supposed to live life with the stuff that people say we're supposed to have. Like you're gonna be 35, you're supposed to have like a house and married and with kids. You know what I mean? Remember the last time we were talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but those are the people in our age group. Those are the people we're supposed to be talking to. And this is the stuff they talk about. They talk about the kids and their annoying job and you know the house and what they're working on. And I was like, damn, like homeboy Aaron, yeah, he's a youngin, but he lives a life of an old dude. He has the house, the kids, and the annoying job. And I was like, fuck, dude, I'm old. And I was realizing it's like. Then I got really fucking sad.
Why?
Because like, oh man, yes, dude, all this stuff that I used to like, this kid stuff, and now that I think of it as kid stuff, I think I can go back to enjoying it the way I used to. Because I was playing. Oh, Eric's came by and he was all excited about cards, right?
Okay.
He had opened a pack and he had like
oh yeah, he got like
he pulled like a really good card.
Yeah,
it's expensive card. And you should have seen him, dude. He was so excited about it. He was like, "Yeah, I can't believe it." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I sleeved it up and I put it in the binder." And I thought of myself, I was like, I remember when that used to be like a fucking highlight of a week when you open packs and you got that extra rare card.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Now I'd be like, "Oh, that was just a waste of fucking $5." And then I was like, you know, you're not gonna get the full value of that card. And I was like, there was no happiness no more. I was like,
but it seems like
I caught myself.
Yeah.
And that's what the sad part.
But I mean, again, you're thinking about like, I don't know. I think you have a problem kind of living in the moment. I would say, and I have the same problem. But yeah, you're always thinking about like
thinking about the future, or either I'm thinking about the future or regretting the past. So the present is never there.
Yeah,
present.
But we've talked about this before.
Hey, I know, but this is the stuff that was like, when I caught myself, I was like, damn, I'm old.
Yeah,
but I'm okay with being old. It's sad when you think about the stuff that we like, and the stuff that we enjoyed, or the stuff that I enjoy and like that I can't no more.
I mean,
no, I just came, you know.
Well, you can enjoy it because you're saying that you can't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah, like
you have openly said you're like, I should give this up because I'm older already, and it's just like, well, why? Like the only person that's enforcing that now is you, because like society already did its number on you, right? So you're already thinking like, okay, you're already thinking that way. So you're not necessarily thinking for yourself. You're thinking what society has told you to think, in terms of like how you think you should feel about that.
Come on, I don't know about your parents. Parents are always like, why are you always playing with that kid stuff? Has your dad ever fucking told you, he's like, hey man, why are you wasting your money on all these toys? Or your older brother? Like, hey, dude, why are you wasting all this money on your toys? Or why are you always playing with your models? Has that ever come up on your family?
No, because honestly, my family isn't like super close, if that makes sense. We're in close proximity, but we are very outside of each other's lives. You know what I mean? So it never really comes up.
My family was always like, why are you wasting your money on that? Or why are you wasting your time on that? That shit's for kids. And come on, true. I mean, these games like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and
Mm-hmm.
They're based for little kids. It's you know.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not
like,
anymore.
Like the thing is that like Magic, I don't know if it was ever targeted for kids, like
teenagers,
actual kids. Yeah, it was targeted for like kids that thought a certain way. So a lot of those kids that have thought a certain way are adults now in their 40s, late 40s, mid 40s, whatever. Even some older than that are still doing that. So it's not like, and yes, you're forgetting you are forgetting that the people that make this shit, that make Magic the Gathering, are adults. So it's not kid shit. It's just not.
I mean, that's how I was. It was.
I get it. I get that. I get that. Like society and your family has like done that to you. But like, what you think for yourself on other things, so why can't you think otherwise with this?
Just hard to beat.
I get it, but what like it seems like all you do is like just you don't try to fight that programming, you just accept the programming.
Well, because the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Literally, come on. Like, imagine if you would have invested all that money you had put in Warhammer. Mm-hmm. You would have had a little nest pocket.
But that's the thing. Like, the thing about it is that Warhammer stuff still brings me some happiness. I allow it to bring me happiness because you know what? It does something for me.
You know, the thing is it actual Warhammer, or is it you actually just having the time to, like, paint?
No, because I make the time to paint. It's not like I don't have shit to do.
No, but is it the paint or is it the actual game? Like, if you paint other things, would you be as happy to do it? Say, like a car or a Gundam model or stuff.
It's just that hasn't hit me yet. Like, it's not that I won't enjoy it or like I can't enjoy it. It's just like, oh, it just hasn't hit me yet. And in terms of Gundams, like, I've never been a Gundam dude, so it's never that's not gonna. But yeah, like any model, Marvel,
Marvel, so they all have models now.
Yeah, so I painted the. I had a really fun time with painting Omega Red. You know what I mean? That's the thing is like, it's not necessarily a Warhammer. Well, I guess Warhammer's just like the biggest like fish in that pond. Yeah.
Yeah, painting is your thing. Painting is not the technical part of painting. It's not really kid stuff. Especially the stuff you use, like airbrush and shit. That's more grown, right? Now, now ask yourself: can you give yourself time to play Magic?
I can.
Cards, buy the packs.
I can. The thing is, do I want to? It's not that, because if you truly want something, you'll make time for it. No, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want something, you're gonna do it. But the thing is,
the more you think of it, the more you think about it, the less the want is there.
Then that's just you, like that. But it's
the outside makes sense. The outside noise makes sense when your inner thoughts starts clicking. The outside world goes, "Oh man, this stuff is for kids," right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, "Oh yeah," and you start thinking about it. And you're like, "Okay, yeah, maybe it is, but I still enjoy it." So you keep doing it, and then you think about it a little more, and you're like, "This isn't as fun as," or you don't have the time for it. You have to work, and you can't go to a tournament, right? Mm-hmm. So your tournament build deck seems for nothing now because you couldn't make it tournament or the next round because you have to have work.
But that's
so it stops being less fun.
No, because again, if you really wanted you take the fucking time to do it. That's not.
Tell me, okay.
Yeah.
Would you pick to go to a tournament instead of working?
No, because tournament play isn't my thing. But if it was my thing, then I'm sure I would be like, hey, I'm going to request these days off so I can make sure I get to that tournament. Now, again, like, that's just how you feel about that.
I see you be iffy to call in for certain events. Mm-hmm. I doubt you. And if they don't give you days off for the tournament, you're not going to call in.
But that's me. Like, that's, for me, exactly. I'm not a tournament player. But with the thing is that like it's not about calling in. It's about like don't be an idiot about it. Like don't be a fucking idiot. Like where it's just like that happens. Now if I would say if it's a job like specifically
if a job if you request it and they don't give it to you, they're like, oh man, we can't. Sorry.
Okay, then you accept that. You accept that.
Exactly. You go to work and you don't go to the tournament.
Yeah, then that shouldn't stop you from that. That in itself should not stop you from pursuing it again. Like you're saying, it's like the way you're phrasing it, I should say, is that it's like a one-time thing. It's just like, if that shit happens, then that shit happens. You can't necessarily stop that because if a job says that they need you there, then they need you there. But
some jobs that you're forced to work the weekends. Like you can't have the weekends off, and that's me. Mm-hmm. That's the only time you actually get to have some tournament play in card games. Mm-hmm. Right, you can't do anything the weekends. Mm-hmm. Right, so you skip one, you skip two, and suddenly you're like, all right, lost interest. Right, and then you're like, you know what, I can still enjoy this because I'm playing with friends. Mm-hmm. And friends be like, oh man, I don't have time because of work, grown-up stuff, family, work, right? Mm-hmm. So suddenly you don't have no friends to play with. You can't make tournaments. Mm-hmm. You start thinking, it's like, oh man, this ain't as fun as it used to be no more. If you can't have fun with it by yourself, it's not fun no more. So you put it aside, and then the outside noise becomes a lot clearer. Maybe it is for kids because you go 1 week into the tournament scene, like you haven't been there in half a year, 6 months go by, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot again. Mm-hmm. You go play the tournament, and you realize that everybody that you play with is not there no more, and all you have is these younger kids. Mm-hmm. Man, that is a pain in the ass. Because I hate playing against young kids because they have a different mentality of playing. Mm-hmm. Like if there was grown-ups there, I would enjoy it, but all the grown-ups move on. Mm-hmm. They all have lives and jobs and shit that they can't play no more. So all that hobby and be like, it becomes ish, and you realize, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe I am old. It's not kid stuff no more. It doesn't matter how much you like it. There's a certain age that.
But that's another excuse, because there's always people that are going to be your age that like the same shit. Now, will it be your friends, the friends that you actually want to play with? No, but there's a chance that there's other people your age that play how you want to play. And you make a new friend. Like, it's total like, I have more friends because shut up. You're interrupted again. Just the way that it happens, that's life, right? You're correct. There's always going to be something that gets in the way of that. But again, it's up to you whether or not you want to keep up with it. Now, if your want goes away, then your want goes away. Can't really change that. Now, will it come back again? Possibly. Will it change or manifest into something else, another hobby of some kind? Yeah, it might do that. Like, the thing is that, like, everybody, I think, needs that hobby. Whatever that hobby is. If it's something nerdy, or if it's fucking guns, or if it's fucking fixing cars, whatever it is. You need that shit.
That's what it is. I have to find something that is away from the weed nerd stuff. I think I'm done with it. I'm done with the video games and the nerd shit and the convention shit. Okay. I say this because homeboy John invited us to 2 conventions. I was like, waste of time and money, dude. I was like, nah, pass. And then, people would be like, hey, man, let's play a card game. I was like, nah, waste of money, waste of time. No, thank you. I just have to. You're right. Man, this shit is done for me, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, yeah, there comes a time where it's just like everybody's different, right? So there's gonna be a time where like maybe.
I don't know where.
But again, like you're saying, like bullshit, like you're done with anime, like you're done with a certain part of it because you do, whether it's a brand new fucking anime, if it's like something that you watch in the past, you're still gonna watch anime. But like the convention stuff, like yeah, you might be done with it. And again, it might be like convention things is weird.
Posters, all that's done.
Yeah, that's but again, that's fine. Like the whole thing of like, I don't like the opinion that like, oh, that's just kid shit, because it is and it isn't. I'm sure they try to market to kids, but the majority of the people that do have this are older people because they have the income to spend. They're not kids that don't have fucking money. And it's different. It's different when a lot of these people tend to have kids, because a lot of these people, if they have kids, they tend to try to get them into it, and then sometimes it hooks them into it, and that becomes like a brand new thing.
I doubt it. I mean, if it wasn't a trend, and Marvel didn't make it a trend where it's cool to enjoy these things, I doubt it. I doubt your statement would be true. Maybe in the circle we run in, right? But I know a lot more people that like they put all this stuff aside to raise their kids and focus on their career.
Yeah,
they're just like they grow out of it.
But again,
and it's okay to grow out of things. It just sounds like you want to hold on to it because it brings you joy.
Yeah, like
there's a lot of instances that be like, joy's lost, it's done, and it is kid shit. It is. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. These stuff is for kid shit. It is kid stuff.
I guess
the
so.
The minis and the card games and the video games and the cartoons and the anime, all that is definitely based for kids. It's made for kids, but we as grown-ups enjoy it. But it's invented for kids. Yes, it's made by grown people because it's kind of hard for kids to make these things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if you go to Magic, like the headquarters, and you go down to the anime, these grown-ups ask their kids for opinions. Or they ask them, what would you like? Or they have, what are they called when they sit you in a room and they get people's opinions? What are those things called? Focus groups. To see if kids like it. And it's based and it's targeted for kids. It's just we enjoyed it because we grew up with it.
In some cases, I would say yes. In some cases, no. Like, because I actually listen to a Magic podcast that's with a developer, and he talks about like, oh, this is a story behind us making this set or whatever. Let's just use Magic as this example. Maybe it could be the outlier in the situation. But when he talks about it, he's like, all these playtesters and everything are adults. Like, all of our focus groups are adults. Because I think a lot of people understand that, like, yes, if we can get kids, awesome. Like, it's when it comes to, like, a barrier of entry, we want to make it as simple as possible. But our money is going to come from the actual adults that are into this. So there has to be some sort of like a hook for them. And in the case of Magic, I think Magic is not marketed towards kids anymore. I think it is marketed just towards adults. Like it just in general.
Changed? Do you think that's changed in the present now? Because it is cool to play cards, because it's cool to stream, because it's cool to know like the history of Magic, because it's big money now in tournaments. Do you think all that has changed because of that? Because of the present that we have in right now?
In Magic's case, I think it's just been a thing that's been around. It's been that way for a very long time. I haven't seen like anything that's specifically kid focused. Because if you look even at the artwork's not necessarily kid, like targeted towards kids. You know what I mean? It's not a cartoon. It's not even like soft edged in any way. They're literally paintings that these guys ask these artists to make. They have a stable of artists.
You don't think
and they're like,
the,
hey,
the magical and the you don't think the magical and like the werewolves and all that is not meant for kids anymore?
Honestly, what I can't remember the last time when I remember a kid talking about that type of shit. Like talking about
here's the thing. What do you
werewolves
consider
and
a kid?
like a fucking like 8-year-old, 7-year-old.
See, I
Like a
have nephews and
cognitive kind of kid.
they talk about werewolves and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
and fairy tales. I had a conversation about the creeper. Had a conversation about I forgot what it was. It was some kind of monster that they watch from creepypasta.
Mm-hmm.
And these are 7, 8-year-old boys.
Mm-hmm.
Then my nieces talk about like mermaids and shit.
Uh-huh.
And so now me, I think a kid
Mm-hmm.
is anything under 18.
Okay.
Anything that's not considered an adult to me is a kid. Even they are teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anything to me, and when I say it's meant for kids,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean. Anything under 18.
Okay.
So you're thinking, what age? What's a kid age for you? Like, do you separate teenagers
Not
from
really.
adults from
Like,
kids?
like teenagers are pretty much kids. I mean, even
Right?
fucking
No,
even
these card games.
I will say even adults are kids. Yeah, you're right
These
on that part.
these card games are based for those 12-year-olds to 17-year-olds that do talk about werewolves and read the comics and buy the mangas and ask their parents, hey, can we go get this new pop that just came out? That's what I'm saying. These are targeted to. If you're thinking under 10-year-olds, oh, that's a little harder. Yeah, I'll give you that. They're not meant for them. But people from the age of like 12 to 17, this is what this stuff is targeted and based for. Now, as society, we're starting to realize that age is the number
Mm-hmm.
being a thing. Because now you're starting to get that, hey, you know what, you're 30 something, you live with parents, that's okay, it's cool. You haven't gotten life together at 35, that's okay, it's cool. You know, we still have a long life to live.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
80s, 70s, 90s, the era when we were born, at 18, you're a fucking grown man. At 16, you had to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
You were driving by 15.
Okay.
Shit, I know 20-year-olds that don't want to drive. That they're not ready to drive yet. Right?
Yeah,
I
John.
know I know late 20s, early 30s that they're barely starting to start their careers.
Mm-hmm.
They're barely doing it. I know 30-something-year-olds that are barely taking college serious.
Yeah.
And that is how society has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we were in high school, it was like, okay, 15, you're driving, 16, get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be an asshole, get a job.
Mm-hmm.
At 18, you have to get your shit together. By 21, you're supposed to already be close to graduating college.
Okay.
All that's changed, so I'm guessing the measurement of grown-ups and kids has changed too. And you're right now this still is targeted for young adults or anything under 30.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, our mentality, this is my mentality,
Mm-hmm.
and the stuff that's instilled in me is from the late 80s, early 90s mentality.
Mm-hmm.
This is kid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. And which sucks because, oh man, I put so much effort into it and I just don't know where to go with it.
Okay.
Like I'm in the crossroads right now.
Okay.
Like I wanted to stream video games. I starting next week because podcast is grown people stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Starting next week, I bought a backdrop. I have a backdrop now.
Okay.
So I could turn on my pretty camera
Mm-hmm.
and you can see my pretty face.
Okay.
I have a backdrop that I'm gonna, I don't know what to put. It's supposed to be for a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think I have a program for a green screen. Well, I don't know if Discord allows green screen. I don't know how green screen works yet.
I don't know. You'd have to. We'll figure that out. Because even I don't know.
And then I was listening to the podcast to get a snippet for TikTok, and we're talking about what this podcast is, and I was like, it was supposed to be weed fucking nerd talk, but the only weed nerd talk that anybody does now is you and your little mini stuff, which as Grimworks Productions, it has this whole different podcast for that, which hasn't been recorded in a while. But it has its own podcast for the painting and the Warhammer and the mini stuff.
Yeah.
So It made me fucking go think again. I was like, fuck, I'm tired of thinking, dude. I'm just fucking tired of a lot of things, but I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing because fuck, all I guess all I have to do now is make money. Is that where I'm at? Which
That,
sucks because
but
when I was
again,
young, I was like,
that's for
fuck
you to
money.
decide.
No,
But
no, no, yeah, that's all.
yeah.
As a friend, I'm telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
As can I trust you with this information?
Mm-hmm.
This is another reason this
Like,
podcast was invented.
yeah, that fucking got away quick.
Right?
But like yes, like the
I'm
thing
guessing there's a
is,
lot of people around my age that's going through the same shit.
yeah,
They're
I
kind of
doubt you're the only
question
one.
where do they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be. Are you supposed to have this stuff? Can you
But
enjoy the stuff you used to enjoy?
don't it's I think there's something in that, and I think there's something because like we're not that far apart in age. We're only 3 years apart, so it's not like I grew up in a totally different fucking era than you. But
No.
one thing that I am maybe more than you is I'm a little more open to like hearing out like what people think in terms of like what life is supposed to be. And honestly, like I think life is just supposed to be what makes you happy. Whatever that is. Now, again, it could be like the nerd shit, like me. Like there is a certain happiness that I get from I don't know, painting something like this fucking gigantic model that I'm painting for somebody. Like this brings me happiness. Like when I see it done, I'll be like, oh shit, that's fucking awesome. For some people, or for other people, it's like that's kid shit. Well, that's fine. I don't necessarily care about your opinion, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So like, it's all about. It might sound selfish, but I don't know. I think there's something to, like, being happy for yourself, whatever that is. As long as I would hope, as long as it's something that doesn't hurt someone else, fucking do whatever makes you happy. Like, and I don't know. It's different. It's different for everybody. But like I said, I've had that programming that you had, and it's hard to turn that off. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to just let go and accept. It's hard because even I feel like, man, I'm 33. I should have been out of my parents' house by now. I should have done this. I should have done that. But the simple matter of the fact, or the simple fact of the matter, I got that wrong. The simple fact of the matter is that I didn't. I am not. So, am I taking steps to fix that so that I can be happy? Yes. Like, I'm taking steps to be like, okay, let's start taking care of this, this, and this so that I can accomplish this. So hopefully I can accomplish this. You know what I mean? And this whole thing about like this nerd shit, like, does my brother respect it? No, he's kind of like, that's stupid. Why are you fucking doing that? I don't give two fucks about what he says. Like, that's my brother. Doesn't matter. The same thing with like my dad. Like, as much as like I love him, we butt heads on things. But he doesn't necessarily give me shit on this. Like, he's like, it's my relationship with my dad's a little bit different than like it's not content. It's not like we're not always like butting heads and like arguing about like stupid shit. I'm kind of just like, all right, I'll
but
do
when
that.
you do, the knives come out.
Yeah. That was a very different time. Now I think I still have a lot of growing to do, but I think I've grown a lot in the last few years, where I'm trying to figure out what I want from life and how I'm going to, like, how do I accomplish that? And maybe what I want out of life is childish, and maybe it's it's not what everybody wants, but what the fuck do I care? Like, why do I have to appease society and other people's opinions about me? Like, think what you want about me. It's fine. Like, it's no fucking skin off my back. Just
but sometimes those comments, those opinions, kind of get you.
They do,
and then they make you think.
But then and then
you start questioning yourself.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Like, that's fine to question it, but think again. It goes back to the what do their opinions matter? Are they somebody that I respect and love? You know what I mean?
What do you do if it is?
If it is, then you have to reevaluate that relationship, because it doesn't matter if it's family or not. Like, sometimes family's shitty, and you can accept that as it is, but maybe you change that relationship. Or in some cases, for some people, they cut them out of their life. Like, that's just end all be all. Now, again, that's not necessarily that's easier said than done, and that's not necessarily a thing that happens in our culture. You know, in the Mexican culture, it's kind of like family's family. You just fucking like accept family, and that's what I do generally. I just accept that that's who they are. I don't necessarily have to interact with them all the time. Then, if
the goal of life is to find people that accept you for you.
No, it's to find acceptance in yourself. Be happy with yourself, and then other things I think tend to fall in place.
What happens if that leads down a lonely road?
Then
you're happy, but you're lonely.
Then it leads down that lonely road, and you determine whether or not that's somewhere that you want to be. You know what I mean? And
and here's my thought: is like, what happens if I get there and I was like, oh, I don't want to be lonely, and you realize, fuck, I'm old. I'm old to fucking, and you sure regret. You do a whole bunch of regrets.
Yeah.
Because you thought you were happy until you're not, and then when the time you want to change it, you're too old, and those things become regret. So now you just
But again, there's people that reinvent themselves at fucking 65 after they retire from their career. Now, is it a common thing? Is it a common thing? Fuck no. But you can try. If you're unhappy with your situation, fix it. It's hard. It's easier said than done. We've gone over this, but take the steps to
being unhappy though. I think people just live being unhappy. They're like, okay, I'm not 100% happy. I'm just okay, and they just accept it. But they come those dark days where you fucking overthink and you're like, fuck. Yeah. You hear the world, or you get super drunk, or you fucking start telling stories like, back in my day, this would have been different. You know, you let out a little bit of that poison, that venom out. But the next day you're like, okay, I'm okay. And you continue with life. Yeah. And here's the fucked up thing though. You know, it's the messed up thing, and when you change, it's hard for people to accept that change. Like friends and family, when you're like, oh man, this is kid stuff. This is for kids, this is not for me no more. You're like, and they're like, nah man, you still want to play, you just whatever reason. Or like, oh come on man, you're like, no, I'm good. And they're like, oh it's not, come on, you used to really like this. And I was like, no, I'm cool now. Just it's not for me now. Go for it, enjoy it. And they're like, really, dude, you can do that? It makes you feel shitty because you know you're like, and for the longest time, this was who I was. Now that the people around you want to do the stuff that you used to do and you don't do it no more, that's a mindfuck right there, dude.
What? But why?
And because for the longest time, you were like, let's do this. You tried to get them to enjoy the stuff you enjoyed, right? And then the moment you stop enjoying it, they enjoy it, and they're like, hey, let's do it. And you're like, no, I don't enjoy it no more. And they're like, really? You enjoy it? I was like, no, it fucks with your head, dude. It really does.
But is it a thing of you trying?
I don't know.
Because like okay, maybe it's not in the circumstance in which you wanted it to happen, but it is happening. Maybe that's the way back into the thing that brought you happiness in the first place. You know what I mean?
It's hard. It's hard to put scenarios with your ass because mostly you're like, I don't care and it's whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I was gonna say, you know how I like the band Hell Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
For the longest time, I'll be like, hey Roman, listen to the album, or listen to a couple of songs, right? And you're like, it's fucking trash. It's fucking trash. It's crappy music.
Uh-huh.
If I played it around you, you're like, dude, turn this shit off, or you put your headphones and listen to your own music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then down the line, they release an album, and it has songs you love that you personally like. And you're like, hey Tony, you should listen to this Hell Yeah. And I was like, nah, man, you know, I gave up that kind of music a while back. It doesn't really do. He's like, dude, it's really good. I was like, nah, I'm good. And you give it a shot, and you don't like it. And you're like, come on, dude, you should like this. You should like this band, and you should listen to it. And I was like, oh, I get a shot, but it's not for me.
Okay.
And you're like, nah, that's fucking bullshit. You should really like this band. And I was like, then I'd be like, oh man, I feel shitty because suddenly, you know, it did bring me joy, and it's just not for me anymore.
Okay.
It's like cocaine. So it goes, hey, Roman, let's do cocaine again. You're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
And the dude was like, hey, man, you really used to love cocaine. It's like, I don't like it no more.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it anymore.
I don't know,
it's all good that you fucking like it. I hope you can handle it better than I did, but I mean,
it's different because my mind dominates me, and I know it dominates me. My way of thinking, the way of living, I know it does. And it's weird. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I'm letting you into my inner psyche, my inner tone, the way I think.
And
this is why I'm so fucked up.
And I appreciate it, but I'm also giving you like maybe my point of view, so that you can weigh that against what you're thinking, and maybe like when you're talking about like the band thing, like let's take the Hell Yeah album. There was an album that I loved. I actually liked.
The new album is really good.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. And I like that album. Like, okay, I like that album. And I suggest, like, it depends on the people that you have around you. But knowing me, I'd be like, oh, I like this album. You should maybe check it out. If you don't, then fuck it. It's no skin off my back. I'm just saying, like, oh,
you start playing the old music, and you're like, this is actually really good.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't like it before.
Exactly. There could be a time when there's like something that I railed against that I will love now, and I'll be like, oh, well, I was an idiot. Like I should have given it a shot instead of just downplaying it from the very beginning. And again, like that's part of that's part of like how I've grown. Like I will genuinely give things a shot now. Like I will give it a shot. Like I've given to just borrow like an anime. I've given something that everybody loves, Attack on Titan. I gave Attack on Titan an honest shot, and it just didn't hook me. Now it's fine if you love it. Great, I'm happy that you like it, and I'll hear if you want to tell me a recap of it. I'll listen to you, but I'm not gonna watch it because it didn't hook me. And it's the same thing with like One Piece. Like, have I watched One Piece in the past? Yes. Am I gonna continue watching it? No, because I didn't enjoy it. But I'm not gonna fucking shit on you for liking it. I may shit on you just for jokes, because that's the way we all joke. Like, there's no fucking way around it. We just shit on each other. But
man, well, my One Piece love is just for me. I know it. It's so great.
Yeah, dude, you're not the only one. There's like all the like Brian and everybody else fucking love One Piece. They're like,
I should be hanging out with them.
You should, and that's the thing. Fucking make new friends. You never know what happens. And that's the whole thing. Exactly, but that's the thing. That's the whole thing, because like you're only
supposed to be making new friends.
You're only 3 years older than me, and it's not like I didn't make new friends. Like through Warhammer, I've made new friends that I didn't think I would.
I'm too closed off to make friends. I really am. Either
no. You're closing off yourself to make
exactly.
new friends.
I said I'm too closed off to make new friends. That's exactly what it said.
Okay.
I either you're in or you're not. And it's always been me though, because either you like me, you don't. I always have to explain myself to a lot of people because I know I'm the weirdo.
Okay.
I'm the oddball. So I have so much fucking energy to fucking be making new friends, and then fuck, man, you know how many fake people there are in the world that they're cool with you now, but all that fucking friend drama crap ain't for me. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I don't have the time or energy for that shit.
Yeah. So stay away from drama.
Energy and time. You know how much energy and time it takes to make new friends? Fuck that. It's not for me. It's not. Okay. I got my circle of friends. I'm cool with them. They understand who I am, and I understand who they are. They get it. They get it. They know where I'm coming from. They're like, okay, you know, it's just Tony being Tony.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. No, you know, like I said, I'm old. I don't need to be friends. I don't need it. As long as I have someone to complain to, like Roman for the podcast, that's good. Which, you know, makes me think that this podcast is just for you and me now.
It seems like it.
It's just like, it's becoming what it's supposed to be. In the beginning, it's just us talking.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, you know, it's just because it's you and me and we have our anxiety and depression, we're sad fucks. That's what usually we talk about. So when it comes to people listening, be like, just do this Preston talking.
So entertaining.
It's just sad. If that's your cup of tea, just fucking watch or not. Yeah. But mostly this is becoming a diary journal. Like, hey, this week these two motherfuckers did that. Like, if we down the line are old and we want to remember what we did, 2021, he's like, this is who we were.
Yeah.
Or, you know, kids want to realize who we were when we were young. Hey, this is who he was.
It's fun because this is it's like a live journal. It's just fucking like instead of reading something and trying to guess what you're feeling at that point, you can actually tell what you're feeling by just hearing what the fuck you were saying.
Or say something happens and we can make it this very fucking morbid. You die. Someone wants to remember our faces or our voices.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
You know how many times I wish I had recordings of my pops? And I don't? Oh man, that would have been fucking awesome. Just like once in a while, you know, hear his voice.
Yeah.
Or see him. Because fuck no. When people pass away, they're like, oh, you're gonna. I remember his face, but I can't remember his voice, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, that fucking. And the more time passes, you know, shit starts fading. And you start your conversations with, hey, you remember when? And I was like, if anybody wants to be like, oh, how was Tony? Hey, perfect journal right here.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't get mad popular, even if it didn't get subscribers or it didn't get comments or emails, this is just there for us. You know, one day down the line, you're like, hey, you want to see how much of a piece of shit your dad, Roman, was? Let me show you. Remember when he shit on everything? Now he's trying to do this? What? Your dad said not to do cocaine? Guess what? I'm going to show you the story when your dad fucking almost died from doing too much cocaine.
Like,
your dad's giving you shit for being fat? Let me show you how fat your dad used to be.
That's an interesting little wrinkle in this. Now I'm intrigued to like just go back for myself because you can tell. I wonder what the switch was for me, and I don't want to go through a 220 podcasts before this to see where it changed, but it would be interesting to one day find that out because clearly my view on the world's kind of changed from when we started.
Oh, I know when you changed.
What was that?
You changed. The first change was when you watched that video and you realized how fat you were. I had that in the podcast. When you're like, why didn't anybody fucking tell me how fat I was? So you started your keto and you were struggling with keto. That's down in the podcast. And then when we started the video, you're like, oh, look, I lost weight. I'm kind of feeling myself, right? All right, that changed. And then the pandemic happened. You took control of the podcast. that clicked another switch on you. That's when you came and you lost half the weight. You found meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You realized that your hobby is painting. That changed another Roman,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when everybody left the podcast, it was just you and me. That made another change because
Mm-hmm.
when it's just you and me, I think you open up a little bit more because we have time to fill.
Yeah.
So you let people know how fucked up you felt inside, even though on the outside you didn't seem that's fucked up. I think that was the biggest change. That was maybe go back when I got a girlfriend, so about 8 months, 9 months,
Okay.
just around there. When Eric was the last one to jump off, it was just like maybe give it 3 months back.
Yeah.
When it was just you
Probably.
and me. Second, third episode, we did just you and me, and we started talking about psychology
Mm-hmm.
and therapy sessions. That was when the true moment came out.
Mm-hmm.
The dude with the insecurities and the anxieties and the thoughts, and he's like, I don't want none of this shit.
Mm-hmm. Still
Like,
don't.
and then the latest change was what 2 months ago? No, actually no, like 3 weeks ago when you're like, I don't care no more. I don't care about the fucking coronavirus. I don't care about my family thinks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna live for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna socialize again. I'm gonna care for me. I think that's the newer you. We're like, it's Romance time. This is the stuff that I enjoy, and this is the stuff I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
again.
imagine you have a kid that's depressed and anxious, and for some reason you can't connect because you forget how you used to be.
I don't think it works
This
that
is
way.
the perfect. Oh yeah, nah, man.
I don't think it works that way.
Can you honestly remember how you were in 8th grade, mentally, physically?
Yeah.
If you go back, can you
No, no, no,
move
no,
like?
no. It's not that. It's not about. It's not that I'm fighting with you on. Like it's not like
Mm,
the age thing. It's a depression thing. Like it's not gonna go away. Like no matter
oh,
what I do, you know what I mean?
well,
So
I'm
like if
pretty sure
he's
it's one
if
of
he's
those that
depressed, I'll
if you
kind of
have
understand.
something tells me that if you ever have kids, that's gonna change everything in you.
It might.
Something clicks in your head.
It might.
Something just clicks. You're like, oh, fuck depression. I don't got time to be depressed or anxious anymore. I got someone that is relying on me, that needs me 24/7 because you've become a parent.
But I mean,
Something clicks
I
in
think
you.
there's many depressed parent that deals with that. Like
You
they're
know what?
depressed. Yeah.
There's only one way to find out. And
I
that's for you to get a bitch pregnant.
I mean
Go start splurging, man. Start splurging and splurgers.
oof,
Go
that's.
splooge.
But like
Go splooge on everything.
that's not me though. Like I'm not like I don't want to just have a kid. Like I would want to have a family with that kid. I don't want to just like have a kid and fucking like abandon it basically. Like not abandon it. Like I wouldn't like just fucking leave that responsibility and I wouldn't be in its life. Just like it would be different. That's a totally different thing. It's not what I want. That's not what I would want. I would want like a genuine family.
Mm. You see,
So
now you know. August 2021, Roman realized he wants a family instead of just
oh
fucking and having kids.
I think there is a part of me that's always wanted that. There's just
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the few times in which I've opened up. Can I trust you?
Mm.
To know that like yeah, I'm now openly admitting that yeah, I want a family. That I want a I would I would like a wife and kid. At least a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though we're not into the nerd week shit, it usually should be just a space to be honest.
Yeah.
You don't have to, doesn't matter who listens. It's just you being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And just me being here putting my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
We're like you're looking at the camera because I'm pretty sure you can see yourself on the screen right now.
I
You can
can.
see the right. You just just I won't talk like you're gonna talk to future self because we don't do anything different. I'm guessing this week has been work.
Mm-hmm.
And the job that's kicking your ass is still kicking your ass, but it's getting a little easier, maybe.
Sort of. Oh, I finally went to a gym, like an actual gym.
Which gym did you go to?
I went to
Golds.
I went to Golds. Yeah, I signed up with Golds. Although I'm still paying for Planet Fitness, I have to cancel that.
And you transferred from the ghetto to the less ghetto.
Yeah, it's equally as ghetto. It's just
it's less ghetto than Planet Fitness.
It's I mean, it depends on what side of town you're going to. You know what I mean?
True.
But I did go, and it's one of the things where I realize that I am not pushing myself, and I have to start doing that. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this week to go at least 3 times a week to the gym to do like actual gym workouts, and then the other days I'll most likely just be at home and do like a little small dumbbell.
It could be hard because people are saying shit's gonna go back to being locked down. The way the shit is going spreading.
It's possible. It is very possible.
And it sucks though. It sucks that it's getting people with the vaccine, so it makes people who haven't gotten the vaccine even more iffy about getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
People don't understand. I don't think they listen to the full everything.
Yep.
I'm guessing people live by headlines only.
Very much so.
And they're like, and it makes it tough.
Yeah.
It makes it fucking tough.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, wow, people would just read the whole article or listen to the whole song. Fucking stay for the whole conversation, god damn it.
Listen to the album, not just the fucking hits.
There you go. But yeah, just because honestly, dude, I was thinking fucking art, what can this be? What should it be? Should we give up on it? It's always a fucking thought. Every fucking week is like, should we give up on it? And I was like, nah. You know what? This is just for you and me. No one else is cool, but it's gonna live on the internet forever. If not in the internet, you could hold on to the fucking files on your computer, and one day these are gonna be the new photo albums.
Yeah.
Be hour-long Christmas. Albums. Yeah, you go and Christmas is like, hey man.
What? Christmas?
You want to see your uncle or your pops when you used to be this age?
Fucking.
Or fucking, you want to fucking remember Roman? Boom, there you go. You want to remember Tony? Here it is.
Yep.
And I mean, it's something we leave on this fucking earth when we can't take anything with us.
I mean, new podcast idea. Fucking a Christmas podcast. I don't know what the hook is, but I'm thinking about it.
I don't know, what the fuck are you talking about Christmas about?
Because I fucking like Christmas, dog.
I know, but like.
Well, I don't know. I'll figure that out before.
Is this real quick? Is it about decorations? About the history? Or is it just about celebrating? Or do you just like everything?
It's about getting that feeling you get at Christmas. That some people get. Not everybody fucking gets, but the little bit of. Yeah, exactly. Everybody fucking has their whole thing. But I did have a thought that wasn't Christmas related, but it was Halloween related, actually.
You and spooky season?
Yeah, me and fucking spooky, scary skeletons, bro.
Spoopy.
Yeah, spoopy. I was thinking, is anybody I know gonna have a Halloween party? And I was thinking about what was it? I was thinking about Bob's Burgers, the cartoon. I'm not gonna be Bob.
I'm gonna be his wife.
No, I'm gonna be one of the oldest daughter, Tina, because I already have like a blue shirt, and I already have Converse. I basically just need like a long skirt to wear,
bob.
And then I'll just I'll just get a bob fucking wig, and then I'll just do that like the whole back twerking that she does. I just
you got 2 months to let your hair grow out.
Yeah, or I can just let my hair grow out from right now. But yeah, it was just a funny thought. I was like, oh, you know what? That would be funny to just see, just to fucking dress up. And that's the thing. Is when's the last time I ever that I dressed up? Fucking when I worked at the comic book shop.
You never cared about Halloween.
Exactly. But why not fucking try something?
And that's what I'm talking. You know how long? You know how many fucking Halloween parties we had? It's like, bro, we just fucking try. You're like, eh.
Yeah, exactly. But now,
and now you're like, nobody. Now the 1 year no one's gonna do a Halloween party. You're like, I wish there was a Halloween party.
Exactly.
That's so fucking shit.
Exactly. That's the way it happens. But you know what? Maybe it'll change, and maybe a few people will have a fucking Halloween party, and I can go to one.
You know too many people that like Halloween. There's gonna be one. There usually is.
Yeah. I just have I just have to go out with maybe friends that I normally don't, and that's the whole thing. Is like I wouldn't say friends. There's friends that I have for sure, and then there's like acquaintances that maybe I should get to know a little bit better, and maybe I should make time for that.
No time for new friends. No new friends. Fuck that.
I mean, again,
it's funny because as you make now here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you make new friends,
mm-hmm.
you leave old friends behind.
Okay.
Is that a thought? Has that you think about that?
Not really, because
because you might think about it.
Okay.
Let me lay down the map before you give an answer.
Okay.
Honestly and truly, you have maybe 1 or 2 days to spend with friends.
Okay.
The rest is work, and you fucking have to go to work,
uh-huh.
right? So now that 1 or 2 days has to be divided among these people you call friends and acquaintances, right?
Okay.
Who gets your attention?
Mm-hmm.
And people are fucking petty. The moment you give them attention, they're like, "Oh, I forgot about this," and that little fucking resentment and quarrel happens. And you're like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't happen right fucking quick, right? You start with well, maybe next time, or I'll catch you. Or I'll try to make it to your birthday party, or I'll try to make it to Christmas, and then it becomes I sent a gift, and then he's like I sent a letter, or once in a while you give him a message, and it happens though. That your new friends become the old friends, and the old friends just become people you remember.
Okay.
Has that ever crossed your mind? That's how it works.
Not really. I can't say that it's crossed my mind because it's just like I would hope that there's something more to our friendship that we can just not talk for a few weeks or what have you and pick up where we left off, because I don't know how I feel about friends that constantly need my attention. And I know that there might be some that I have that I need to do that with, but I mean, you have to accept that life doesn't always revolve around yourself. So you have to, maybe it's you have to take a look at yourself before you start just blaming me for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You want something I don't got time for right now, man.
But okay.
It just happens. It's a natural separation.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And it goes to thinking back, when we started this podcast, there's so many people, and some people that I don't even remember the last time I talked to. Can you remember the last time you talked to Ghost?
Yes. The last time I spoke to him, I saw him. It was later in the week of the freeze that we got here. Because I went to go put some gas in my car, and I saw him putting gas in his car, and I'll be honest, it wasn't the same. So that friendship is just, honestly, it's whatever now. I don't know if he's listening, but it's just
that was gonna be my question. Is he still considered a top friend? Do you still worry about getting him a birthday? This is what I consider a friend. People you worry about their birthdays and Christmas. If they're on your shopping list, the birthdays and Christmas, they're really your friends. Right?
Yeah.
Is he in that list?
No. Because he's
There's a couple.
He's doing his thing. You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. As you meet new friends, a lot of people start flying off of that list.
And I'll be honest, when it comes to him specifically, I would try to reach out and I wouldn't get a response. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I just kind of brushed it off, and then like I kept trying, and I was like, oh, I guess he's just he's busy. So I'm just like, that's cool. And was I a little hurt by it? Yeah, but in the end, I don't care. Like it is what it is. If I lost him as a friend, then I lost him as a friend. Like I'm not gonna spend needless energy on something like that. I can't, like, because I did that in the past too much. Like I worry too much about like keeping the friends that I have, and like that's the thing is like with you, Eric, John. You know, it's all different because y'all are fucking family.
Oh, you're stuck with us.
Yeah, y'all are my family. It doesn't matter.
If it comes to Christmas, if it comes to your birthday, it's like, hey, we haven't heard this motherfucker. We can go hunt you down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shit, you did the fucking quarantine. We had a little car thing in your house. You're like, even as much as you said, hey man, you know, I can't do it this year. Sorry. And we started there, like, man, fuck that shit. We went and threw stuff at your yard.
Exactly.
And we sat there yelling at you through our windows of our car, like idiots, honking, making sure all your neighbors heard, and made them mad.
Yep.
And at that point, we had not had a conversation. But that's when the podcast took a break.
Yeah. Wow. It had been a long time. I hadn't talked to anybody in like 4 months.
We messaged here and there, but it wasn't like it used to be back then. We're like, hey, Rome's here like almost every other day. But it's that's the thing. When you're on this side of where your family, you ain't getting rid of us.
No,
ain't no thing.
I can't.
It doesn't happen. But there's people, there's people on that list that, little by little they just fade out.
Yeah, and if they
need to wait for the new one, and we're gonna be realistic. There's no way to keep everybody.
Yeah, and
because again, math. You have to divide your time, your free time, to who gets what.
Yeah, and if you're important to me, then I will reach out. Like I'll reach out to you. But if you're clearly not gonna reach out to me, then it is what it is. Like I guess that friendship has kind of deteriorated, and cool. I'm not gonna sweat it. You go your way, I go mine. No problem.
And then you have to come at it with a grown man mentality, like an adult mentality. Yeah, you're gonna be petty because I haven't talked to you in a bit. Shouldn't be that way. You have to understand people have lives.
Yeah.
Can't be with you and they can't talk to you every goddamn time. But if they make enough of an effort to at least connect with you. Let's be realistic. Once every 3 months.
Yeah. That'd be fine. But the thing is, like, in certain cases, that's not always the case. You know what I mean? And
a lot of people have the kingdom today.
Yeah, and then, like, all friendships are different. Because, like, I can go a week without talking to you. I can go, like, an entire week without saying anything, and then pop in and be like, hey, what's up? And no one, like, is like, damn, no one's being petty about it. Just like, hey, what's up, man? Like, it just, and
it's been fucking times like, hey, man, we have that group chat.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, man, I haven't heard from you in a while. You okay? You still alive?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, man, just fucking working, shaking my ass. It's like, all right, cool.
Just do anything.
We make jokes because you little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. That's all the fuck it is.
Then the jokes come with you, being little bitchy shit. Then we want. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, before we get to the ending of this podcast, because we have no fucking comments, we have no emails, but if you want to, you could go to youtube.com/Grimworks, drop a comment there. We have all social media. If you want to give us a follow. If you do listen to this, you want to anybody else to listen, that'll be cool. If you don't, hey, it's all good. This has become what it is. But before we do, I forgot I had something to talk about this week. You guys give Suicide Squad a chance, the new one. They fucking brought Star Wars to life, and it was actually really good. It's a different kind of movie, but it was mind-numbing fun.
I think I'm going into that movie with a lot of
James Gunn did his thing. Huh?
Yeah,
he's gonna make fucking King Shark very popular because that motherfucker was dumb and adorable.
Yeah,
he's fucking Sylvester Stallone's voice on something that big, dumb, and adorable is just a great combination.
It's just and that's the thing is like I'm going in with a lot of hang-ups about that movie just in general. And it's not necessarily about the movie. It's about I I still have a lot of growing to do, and there's a certain type of person that I do not get along with, and it's usually that person that likes those types of movies, and I go in already with like a bias that I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna like this movie, but I will give it an honest shot. I think I have HBO Max. So I'll try to give it a spin and try to go in as like unbiased as possible.
It's gory.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It brings. I like Starro.
Yeah,
have you guys ever seen
I'm a Starro
Justice League Unlimited and stuff? I like the Starro episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Starro the Conqueror's always been nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird hearing so much cuss words coming out of the things you think they're not gonna have cuss words. Bloody. So bloody, Roman. So bloody. But it was good. It was fun. It made you forget about real life for at least 2 hours. And if you're part of the DC world, you start seeing little fucking Easter eggs and snippets. You're like, oh shit, I can't believe they did that, or I can't believe they incorporated this. And that's, like I said, it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, it's not a super serious movie. It's not like, oh my god, one of the best fucking comic book movies. It's
just a fun movie.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. Then you come in watching a movie that's just like a fun movie. You're like, oh, that was you enjoy it. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think some people take comic movies too fucking serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they come in with high expectations, or they want to got that much.
I think it ruins the
movie. It ruins the movie before you even watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Even before you hit play or pay whatever movie theater is charged now.
Yeah.
You come in there already giving it a 2-star out of 5 when it's supposed to be a 4 out of 5 stars, just because you couldn't take that away from like this is supposed to be this, or the comic book did this. No, man, throw all that away. If you like I said,
just go in wanting to watch a movie.
Yeah, go in there and have fun. And if you have an Easter egg and you're like, oh shit, I know that about the comics, bonus points.
All right.
You like the way,
you know what?
You like the way they make the villain, bonus points.
But
if you like Harley Quinn or you hate Harley Quinn, and you see her get her ass beat, and you're like, hell, fuck yeah, fuck that bitch up. Bonus point. I say that for you because I know you hate Harley Quinn.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. But
you just enjoy her getting beat.
I don't enjoy her getting beat. I'm just like I just don't enjoy that character. But I will say this: I can't guarantee that I'll watch it by the time we record the next podcast. But give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks, and I'm gonna see that I watch that movie.
Yeah, just go ahead and fun, man. I think that's how any movie should be viewed. Just as going in and having either a good time or a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there with expectations or compare it to other movies or wanting it to be the better and the best, you're gonna steal yourself a good time. You're gonna cheat yourself a good time because your mentality is already telling you this movie's not gonna be up to par. Throw all that shit aside. Put some popcorn or a snack and a drink. Sit down and enjoy it. I know it's hard to ask because a lot of people can't fucking do that.
It's hard. It's hard to sit down and watch something, especially if it's at home. If it's at a theater, I guess like you have more incentive to just like sit down, try to enjoy the movie. Like you paid to watch this movie, so try to have some fun. But like if you're trying to view it at home, I think it's a very different thing.
Yeah, but for now, this has been episode 121 of the City Podcast, and it has changed how the City Podcast is going to be from now on. I hope so. Because this was entertaining, at least for me. We have been your hosts. I'm Tony, and I'm here with
Roman. And like we say at the end of every episode, bye.
Bye.